Broad and Patterson will be rocking tonight in South Philadelphia as the Pittsburgh Penguins come to town to take on the Philadelphia Flyers. And it's the Flyers that are favored in this game, and the Flyers with a 2-0 series lead. Sometimes, Joe, playing in your own building that's that hyped up, you sort of get a little bit of that, angst. Shoot the puck! Oh, no, we're down 1-0 here, but the Flyers faithful will be there tonight. It's been a minute since they've been in the playoffs for a home playoff game. Flyers is the favorite tonight, Joe. What are we thinking tonight as a spread line?
I mean, you're going to get every ounce of what Pittsburgh has here. They know the series will be over if they go down 3-0. So we're about to find out what this Penguins team is made of here tonight, Donnie. I think Philadelphia is ready to take the punch, though.
The orange shirts will be back in the seats tonight. Gritty's going to be going wild. Can the Philly faithful give them enough for the win? Because one thing we know, the Phillies ain't giving us any wins. There's that. We'll be back with it after the break. Philadelphia tonight, Joe. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers? No. Is it the Pittsburgh Pirates? No. It's the Penguins, and they're down 0-2, taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. Orange crush in effect. Hashtag ignite the orange. However, Joe, all that momentum, you win in game number 1. You shut the Pens out in game number 2. You go over to the Kalshi prediction market, and they go, yeah, 51% chance that the Flyers win this game at home, 49% on the Pens. Kitchen sink game for the Pens tonight, Joe. How does this one turn out?
Well, they're not winning if Sidney Crosby, who is yet to register a point in this series, doesn't get going. You're talking about a Penguins team that now has lost 5 straight, and that includes the final 3 games of the regular season. And it hasn't gotten any better here. So if I like the Penguins to leave it all out there, you got to like Crosby to finally get on the board here tonight. And I think that's where I'd center everything around, because if he doesn't, series is over.
Wait for some of those props to come in, but, interesting stuff like who's going to get the first goal tonight, who's going to score, who's going to get an assist tonight. Some of those things can play in. So I look at that marketplace, because the one thing that you want to do, Joe, you know as well as I do, if you're the road team going into a hostile environment, how do you quiet the crowd? Get an early power play, score on that power play, take the 1-0 lead, take the air out of the building. The last thing you want to do, Joe, in the first 5 minutes, when that place is going to have energy, give up a goal. And that's what Pittsburgh is going to try to not do tonight against the Philadelphia Flyers. More hot topics on the way next. Prediction Market's Edge rolls along on the early line. Stanley Cup playoffs in full effect. Having some fun watching. Some of the big teams playing well. Some teams that you didn't think might be down 0-2, like the Pittsburgh Penguins. They are. So where does the value come from, Joe, now when looking to invest in the NHL Stanley Cup champion here? Take a look at Polymarket. The favorite right now is the Colorado Avalanche, buoyed by their 2-0 series lead against the Los Angeles Kings. They're currently trading, Joe, at 25%, followed by Carolina, Tampa Bay, and Edmonton behind them. Any looks, Joe, outside of the Colorado Avalanche, you know what? I think it's worth the price to pay here.
Well, that's the problem, Donnie. You're paying full freight here because the market already knows they're the best team in the NHL. But here's the problem. President's Trophy teams, historically, aren't very good in finishing the job, Donnie, across the board. And listen, barely won again last night, 2-1 in overtime against the LA Kings, who are giving them everything they can handle. But if you're looking for value, which is what we want, call me crazy. I mean, I know Vegas lost last night 3-2 to Utah. That series is 1-1, but I still think Vegas has the experience. They've got a new head coach, crazy enough, and they know what it takes in order to take it all the way here. So I think the value still lies with the Vegas Golden Knights if you're looking for, not a -3 or a -400, favorite, which is exactly what Colorado is.
Eastern Conference champion here on Polymarket, Joe. It is the Carolina Hurricanes, trading at 36%. Why? Because they're up 2-0 series lead on the Senators here, followed by the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are in an even matchup here with the Canadians, tied 1-1. Sabres 1-1. Philadelphia Flyers 2-0. Is it coming down to Carolina and Tampa, Joe? Or can the Sabres say, you know what? Our season wasn't a fluke here. We're just as good as everybody else.
Well, listen, I happen to think, and I had said this yesterday, Donnie, talking to somebody that, Tampa, after losing game 1, all of a sudden their price was around 50 cents just to win the series against the Montreal Canadiens there. And if you took Tampa at that price, you're feeling better right now. And that's exactly what I would do. Tampa Bay is going to have their hands full with Montreal. We've seen that, right? But listen, Tampa gets by. I would buy in now, and I'd look to sell after they advance out of this round or even the next round there, because I'm not sure they're going to be able to get by Carolina. But I certainly think you can get them at a pretty good price now. Buy sooner rather than later with Tampa.
And by the way, the Sabres, who did take a loss last night to Boston, even up their series, you buy in now, it's trading at around 12 cents here. $100 investment pays back $7.71 on the Sabres to win the Eastern Conference. Let's flip it over out west. And as we noticed and told you about, Colorado with a 2-0 series lead. They are the favorites to be the Western Conference champion, currently trading, Joe, at 39% to do that, followed by the Vegas Golden Knights, the Edmonton Oilers, and the Dallas Stars. I always loved Edmonton, Joe. 17 cents their price currently here. $100 investment on Polymarket would pay back $5.88 here, but is Colorado just too fast, just too strong?
Well, and this is another reason why I had mentioned Vegas here, Donnie, because path matters more than how good you are, right? So history tells us, as good as Colorado is, President's Trophy winner, they're going to throw up all over themselves at some point. But they're also going to cannibalize each other. Think about it. The other great teams, Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota. Well, Minnesota's playing Dallas, right? I think the path is easier for Vegas here in order to give yourself an opportunity to buy in at this price. And then, shocker, they could very well be playing in the finals, at which point you would have bought low and you'll have an opportunity to sell high on the Vegas Knights.
Team to advance to the second round is a marketplace you can use here on Polymarket. I find an interesting one on the Philadelphia Flyers. Yes, they're up 2-0, and Pittsburgh looks old and dead at this point, and the Flyers have home ice advantage. They should win that series, but the Flyers aren't notorious, Joe, for making the playoffs year in, year out with this crew, knowing how to close out a series. The reason I bring it up is, yes, I'm rooting for the Flyers, but, Joe, a no price to advance to the second round for the Flyers, $100 investment pays back $4.15. And you know, if the Penguins win tonight, which is basically a toss-up, that number is going to change drastically. I'm not hating on my Flyers. I'm cheering them on. But I thought that price point was interesting for a team that we probably didn't think would be in this spot, let alone be in the playoffs.
Correct here. And we got a lot of teams with, no experience playing teams with experience here. And that's the problem with Buffalo right now, is that you've got a team that, this is not a team that has been there and done this before. I think, Donnie, at this point, I'm looking at teams with experience. The Avs advancing, Vegas advancing, the Hurricanes advancing here, maybe even the Penguins here at this point with how much experience they have. I think teams that have been there and done that have an edge heading into the second round.